going on, world? It's Raheem Flowers, and I'm coming with you in a video straight in the beach in Chirac. See? You know, the coon felt inclined to be in a beach filled with white people, but fuck it, that's what it's gonna be. It is what it is. Now, I read a post on Facebook. It was from a brother named William. He was on Big B Kel's Facebook page, Morale. Shout out to Big B Kel. And I also want to give a shout out to Misanthropic One, Tommy Sotomayor, and my brother from the Shah, Minister Jack, for speaking on issues in regards to the black community. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because I don't think this gets brought to attention. Thank you very much for the compliment, man. Anyhow, the reason why I wanted to bring this topic up was because born and raised in Chicago and growing up in a Caribbean background and household, I knew there was a difference in the dynamics with the women. And the women I'm referring to are the American black women, the African American, the queens, the Mother Earths that these Negroes, conscious ass simp niggas like to say. Now, going off of this dynamic, and even though I grew up in a Caribbean household and I had Caribbean roots in it, I was in an environment, an atmosphere with a lot of people who were from the hood. The west side of Chicago, the south side of Chicago. I went to a high school in Uptown, but a lot of people that went to the school came all the way from the south side and the west side. It was initially supposed to be a charter school, but my principal was from the west side, so all these niggas came out of nowhere. And giving a long story short, you have too many of these simp niggas giving these women too much power, which creates a destructive dynamic within the black community. That's why these black women are so entitled these days, because the men have propped them up and they don't get put in check in the sense that they're not accountable for anything, because she's looked at as some goddess when that couldn't be any further from the truth. Unless we're talking about some evil goddess, then maybe that's a different story. Anyhow, I read this post and it was just beautifully articulated. I don't think anybody summed it up better than the man on that page, and I'm gonna put it up for you guys right here. And the main gripe that I have with the so-called black community these days is there's a lack of accountability. And the reason why there's a lack of accountability is because most of these dudes act like some weak women. And what I mean by that is being overly emotional, irresponsible, and just very promiscuous, very slutty, or thotty, as people in my generation like to say. So, what does it trickle down to, people? Black men, black people. It becomes a detrimental pattern. You have all these dudes out here, these do-nothing thug-ass niggas, just shooting up each other out of ego and in hopes of gaining some sort of social status and impressing these sluts, these hoes, these thoughts that would just use them for another man. See, the black community is becoming antisocial, irresponsible, sociopathic, and petulant, and just completely illogical. If I say it's raining outside, niggas will argue. And what I mean by when I say it's raining outside and they'll argue that it's sunny, I mean that you can present the facts to the table and they'll still go off of how they feel, their opinions. And that gotta become terminated, null and void. I'm seeing too many of these effeminate Negroes, just like Misanthropic once said, running around, worshiping these hood rat archetype bitches, and then they take no type of accountability for their actions. Because just like the post said about the so-called Black Lives Matter, it's really just a form of propping up these do-nothing thug-ass niggas. That's all it really trickles down to. You have, because name one person who was not some suspected individual who was into criminology, which is also something that is becoming worshipped in the black community, as well as anti-intellectualism, that if, let's say some Steve Urkel-ass, Cookie from Nesdy's classified school survival-ass black man was to be shot. I don't even think Black Lives Matter would even care. Because, well, it's not even about wouldn't even care, because that situation wouldn't even occur. Fuck the hypothetical. That wouldn't even occur. And it hasn't occurred since this so-called Black Lives Matter movement occurred. The most irresponsible movement that was ran by a Jew. It's not even ran by blacks themselves. It's funded by a Jewish Hungarian, George Soros. Same way the NAACP was run by a white woman named Rachel Dolezal. And same way that black people, especially black women, can praise a mixed breed and a light-skinned Negro such as myself. Because it's evident that it's ran by women who have no respect for men. I don't even see how anybody can try to refute that. It's a beautiful day in this beach, and I'm glad I ain't see no hair-hatted hooligan, because you already know when there's an abundance of hood rat bitches, you know niggas will magnetize to that, and that's going to ultimately lead to destruction. That's what I mean by the hood rat dynamic. Criminology, anti-intellectualism, antisocial behavior, and just complete illogical lack of accountability. That's the main premise. And I think that might be all. And another thing, if you know that you are black and you know that anything I said within my rhetoric is not applicable to you, then don't tell me it's not all. It's asinine to even speak in absolute. Common sense should tell you that I'm not speaking about all, considering the fact that I'm a black man, considering the fact that I even shouted out other black men, and I even have a black girlfriend. So please spare me with that not all crap. I'm not the nigga to use that towards. Anyhow, if you know that you're not like that, you need to speak up, because this whole silent majority, loud minority shit that goes on in everything in society, that's what's messing people up. It's the same argument with the whole radical Muslim, moderate Muslim thing. The reason why all these Islamists get away with what they get away with because nobody's saying shit, because everybody wants to be politically correct. And by not standing up, you're letting them win. You're letting them know that they are the prototypical of the blacks. How did the nigga archetype become the prototypical? Because it just shows that we, as a whole, are too weak. So if we want to talk about white supremacy, if we can't even face ourselves, how are we supposed to face white supremacy? And I think that's how I'm gonna end this video off. I'm out. One more thing, P.S. I just came up with a possible solution fixing these hood niggas. Because right now, things are looking like that movie, Idiocracy and Lord of the Flies. Instead of Black society getting like that, why don't we make the shit more like Minority Report? I think that would do the trick right there.